Hey everybody, welcome to Built on Faith Homestead. Today, as promised, we are going to do a dill pickle canning video, and we'll bring you guys along. Melissa will do most of the canning. She had to run down to get Bobo. But we'll show you guys kind of how we do our dill pickles, and we've been eating some that have finally gotten ready, and they are the best dill pickle on the planet, in our humble opinion. And we will show you guys where we got this recipe from, because it's not our own original recipe. This is a recipe that we got from somebody else on YouTube, and we'll show you guys their channel as well. So come along with us and we will show you the dill pickle making process. Here's our whole cucumbers. Got them in the sink. We're going to wash them up, and that will be the very first thing. Once again, clean cucumbers. And ones like this, actually I'll probably take it out of the sink. It's got some bad spots on the skin. We won't use that for this. We'll just go ahead and eat that guy. But we will wash these up, and then we'll get them sliced up. There's not too many this morning. Not a whole lot of cucumbers this morning. Our, what I'm going to call our summertime cucumbers, are starting to die off. We have just had so much drought, so hot. It has been right around 100 degrees for I don't know how many days, and like no rain, no real amount of rain here in where we live since like June-ish, early part of June. And so, and it's been like 100 degrees at least every single day. And so we've been watering, but they are finally starting to give it up. However, if you watched my previous video about preparing now, our fall or late season cucumbers are starting to come on. So we're gonna have a bit of a transition period. We're not gonna have as many pickles for a few weeks, and then we'll be right back into pickling. Dill pickles especially are a huge part of, if you watch my wife and I's video about PCOS, dill pickles will be a huge part of our diet, and is a huge part of our diet, because they work great for side dishes and snacks and those kinds of things. And these particular ones are carbohydrate free. And we'll also talk about some of the health benefits later of dill pickles. Alright guys, so all we've done so far is you want to cut both ends off the cucumber. There's an enzyme that gets released at the ends of the cucumber that make them soggy, and nobody wants a soggy pickle. So you cut the ends off. We are going to salt these and put them in the fridge for a couple hours, and that will help keep them crispy. And that salt brine really helps draw out that moisture, and really helps keep that crispy. And when you're making homemade pickles, your enemy is a soggy pickle, right? You want a firm, crispy pickle. That's what you're looking for. And so we are going to salt them and put them in the fridge. We like spears, but I also, some of the smaller ones like this one, I just left this guy whole. I figure it'll be good. Cut some of them just in half, like this one. We just cut him in half, but we will get them salted. We washed them really good. We're going to salt them, and then we'll rinse the salt off of them really good again, and we'll show you kind of that process. But once again, when you're canning, you just want very clean product that you're using. Alright guys, while those cucumbers are soaking in the salt brine, let me talk to you real quickly about the different health benefits of dill pickles. So first and foremost, pickles are an excellent source of, cucumber pickles are an excellent source of vitamin A, vitamin K, potassium, phosphorus, folate, and beta-carotene, which helps with type 2 diabetes and age-related macular degeneration. Also lowers the risk of heart disease and helps in weight loss. However, they are going to be high in sodium. So if you have blood pressure issues and those kinds of things, you may have to limit your eating of the dill pickles. But the dill pickles we make, they have turmeric in them, which is antibacterial, antiviral, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and will help with blood pressure as well. And so will pepper, that is high in antioxidants, helps with anti-inflammatory, or will aid in inflammatory issues. improve blood sugar, lower cholesterol, also has cancer fighting agents, and may reduce appetite. Health benefits of garlic, right? Because our dill pickles have garlic in them. So that helps with your immune system, high blood pressure, cholesterol, and as an antibiotic. And dill itself has vitamin C, vitamin A, magnesium, antioxidants, and aids in digestion, along with the vinegar, which has all kinds of health benefits as well. It's kind of funny, right? So the sodium may make you have some higher blood pressure issues, but then all the ingredients in there helps lower your blood pressure issues. And so it may kind of balance it out some. There are obviously lots of health benefits. Melissa will eat them as a side because the dill pickles have no carbohydrates in them. There's no sugar or anything like that in there. And so she can eat those as a side with her snacks and those kinds of things. We can eat them as a side dish for our dinners through the wintertime, and we absolutely will, and we absolutely do. I personally prefer the bread and butter sweet pickle. Just because I like sweet pickles, but they're not as healthy for you, so I'll eat more dill pickles this year especially. But there are some health benefits, and remembering that we do this all ourselves, so we know all the ingredients that go into it. We know the quality of the ingredients that we're using. We know that there's not any extra chemicals or anything crazy in the homemade dill pickles. We know exactly what's in there, and for us, what's in ours, right? Water, salt, vinegar, sugar, or no sugar, sorry. There is water. What we know is in ours is water and salt and turmeric and vinegar and pepper and garlic, and they're all like whole good ingredients. There's nothing crazy in there. There's no crazy chemicals or anything like that. So we know exactly where it's coming from, which is another reason we think you should make your own pickles at home. That, and it's incredibly easy to make your own pickles. It's not a hard thing to can. It's a good way, once again, if you've never canned before, to start getting used to canning. All right, guys, stick along and we'll show you the rest of the process. All right, guys, so these have been soaking for a couple of hours. We usually do them overnight, but I'm just going to be honest with you. We went into a church camp last night that so they asked me to come preach for them, and we forgot to get them soaking. So they just soaked for a couple hours, heavy salt. We'll rinse them off, and while they're doing that, let me show you what else we got going on. Over here, we have our jars warming up to be sanitizing. And we went ahead and got out some of our other stuff. The way you really speed this process up is just by doing multiple things at once and try to keep things moving. And of course, while we're doing that, we've got our sourdough bread in our pot rising, and we'll cook it later tonight. And once we get done washing these cucumbers, what I'll do, they'll be in this sink, and I'll really scrub them good, do one of these numbers, right, something like that, and then we'll drain the sink. We'll do that at least 3 times, and then we will weigh them. We got a scale down here that my wife uses to make her soap. We'll weigh them, and we'll know about how many pounds we have. Like I said already, there's not a lot here. There's maybe, I don't know, 3-ish quarts, and which isn't very many. However, our summer/early season cucumbers, they're starting to go, right? They're starting to fade, and so we're not getting very much off of them now. I don't know how much we've already done. We've done a bunch already. Cucumbers been about, I don't think it's been growing for us at all. So we've been doing that, and our fall and late season cucumbers are just now coming on, so this is going to work out fairly well for us, I think. And it is raining outside right now, and I am so thankful to the Lord that we are getting some rain. It's the first measurable rain we've got, I don't know, has to be since like first part of June. So I'm thankful for that. All right, so let's get these rinsed up, and we'll weigh them, and we'll go from there. We've got the cucumbers washed. Now we're going to weigh them up. See what we got as far as poundage goes. Helps us know how much brine to make for the jars. All right, y'all. We got just under 5 pounds of pickles. We got just under 5 pounds of pickles. So if I'm remembering right, our recipe calls between 8 and 10 pounds for the brine. So I'll probably be able to cut that in half, so I'm not using as much ingredient, and we will go from there. Remember, while we're doing this, our jars are still warming, not boiling, just steaming. They have to boil for 10 minutes to sanitize. So while that's doing that, we will get our brine made up. So here is the recipe we'll be using. Once again, from Outdoor and Country Living. Check out their YouTube channel, and I will show you what it looks like right here. And here is the recipe. Once again, it makes 8 to 10 pounds of cucumber spears. Remembering we had just under 5. So what I did was I just cut this recipe in half. If you're going to do canning, you need to learn how to cut recipes and double them and all that good stuff. So we just cut it in half for the brine. Now, as you can see there, 2 quarts of water, 2 quarts of vinegar, 1 cup kosher salt, and 1 tablespoon of turmeric, and you bring it to a boil. And you can let it cool some to put into your jars. Once again, that cooling is to let them get crispy. You don't want to let them cool too much. Let your brine cool too much, or you will crack your jars. On the back of it, this is for a quart jar measurement. We'll use half a teaspoon of dill, 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, and 6 whole peppercorns. And that's for a quart jar. This we don't cut in half. This goes in each individual jar. And so this will stay the same. The only time you'd cut this in half is if you were using pints. I want to show you one other thing too that can be helpful. Right, big measuring cup, something like that. But here's what I want to show you guys. So we've got our jars over here on this side of the stove sanitizing. We got our brine making here. The reason why we got the brine on this side of the stove is because this is where I'm going to put my jars. So I'm going to take them out of the canner. I'm going to bring them over here and I'm going to set them down. I'm going to fill them full of cucumbers, and I'll fill them full of that brine, the garlic, the pepper, and all that good stuff. That way I'm not dragging my brine clear across the stove. I've just got a little space here to cover because you're going to drip some, make a mess. It'll help limit the mess. I don't know if you guys heard that knock on the door or not. Mailman dropped something off for me. I got a new hat. Got a couple new hats. We got some for VBS for the boys. And we ordered these and they didn't come in time. They got back ordered and all that good stuff. But me and my wife talked about it, and you guys used to see me wear my Bass Pro hats, which I got nothing against Bass Pro, like Bass Pro. Always have liked Bass Pro. It is still a fun place to go to take the kids and all that good stuff. But Bass Pro doesn't sponsor our channel. Nobody sponsors our channel. But in talking about it with my wife, we decided that I would rather spend a little bit more on a hat that at least gets you thinking about Christ. And so that's what I'm going to start doing. So this is the hat. It's called Rooted in Christ, and we'll see some more of these hats in the videos. I do want to say, while they were on back order and they took forever to get here and I wasn't impressed with that end of it, I will say this: these are very nice hats, very comfortable. They fit very well. Some of these trucker style hats, they can be not deep enough, right? They can be really small on your head. These are, it's a very comfortable, very well made hat. So I'm thankful for that part of it. Check them out. Good way to let people see your faith and get questions asked and those kinds of things. So, Rooted in Christ, you'll probably start seeing these hats in our YouTube videos. Alright, so our brine, it boiled. I put it on like simmer mode, keep it hot. Our jars just got sanitized, and so we will be going. Wait a second, Luella. We forgot something. I forgot to warm up the lids and rings. One momento, we'll be right back. So, now, we've got our jar lids warm, and so we're gonna start this process, get it going. Luella is gonna be my camera woman, and she's gonna help me videotape the process here today. Are you excited to help? Yeah. Yeah. right, guys, so that made 4 quarts. One more quart than I thought it would make. We sanitized 5 quarts. One thing too that I want to mention, always sanitize more than what you think you're going to need, because that's part of the long part of this process. Now they're in the canner. We'll give them 10 minutes to water bath can and they'll be done. All right, y'all, pickles are done. Get them out of the canner over on the cooling racks, or we'll wait for the most fulfilling sound you can hear. To hear the sounds of jars sealing. There you guys have it. 4 quarts of delicious, tasty pickles from Outdoor Country Living something or another YouTube channel. No disrespect, guys, I'm just terrible at names. That's where we got our recipe from. I encourage you guys to try it. Check out their channel as well. They got all kinds of cool stuff on there. Pickling cucumbers is a fantastic way to get your feet wet in canning. It's a water bath canning process. It's super simple, super easy, super safe. Something you might think about. I want to leave you guys with this thought. Those cucumbers will rot if we don't do something with them. If we don't add something that will preserve them. You yourself will rot unless you have Jesus Christ running through your veins to preserve you in this life. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you next time.